Here we are at the start of a brand new year, 2024. So Trent and I thought it would be a good time to have a discussion with you and the good folks out there. What bourbons and or whiskeys will we be looking for, hunting for, desiring to get in some form or fashion coming up here in 2024?
Well, I was going to keep it to bourbons only, but I saw a couple ryes in the list. I was like, okay, I got to put those in there. Last year was such a great year for rye. Something is telling me this isn't going to be as fruitful of a year for good ryes. I would hope so, but you never know.
Yeah.
So far, if you look at, I'm not on Instagram, but there's a website called Breaking Bourbon. They have a bourbon release calendar that they put out, different months, different labels, and all that kind of thing.
Yep.
There's an Instagram account.
Yeah, it's called Coming Whiskey, Coming Whiskey. If you follow them on Instagram, all of the labels that are being registered with is it TTB?
TTB, yeah.
TTB.
Yep.
All the new stuff that's coming out, they will actually show pictures of the labels and what's been registered by the certain distilleries and other companies that want to get a new label or new whiskey started. So they have to register first with the TTB. So if you follow them on Instagram, you'll get to see some of the cool things that'll be coming up at some point in time.
Yeah. So and it's still very early in the year. I don't know what you have on your list. We haven't talked about the list either, so it'll be interesting to see what we have.
The folks are going to be extremely disappointed with me in this video.
Okay.
As you all know, I'm the simpleton of the group. I mean,
Are you a simp?
If that's what it is, then that's what I am. I just don't. I'm not that guy that looks ahead and salivates over big time allocated limited stuff. That's just not me. I enjoy them. Please don't get me wrong. And Trenton spoils me. So you have that too. So I don't have to, Trenton brings stuff down every once in a while. Oh, here you go. What's that? And so I'm spoiled a little bit. So my mind doesn't have to be geared that way. And I'm happy for it because I'm just not really wound like that.
Well, so just to kind of be clear, these aren't just allocated releases. These are things that might be new releases from distilleries that are going to be commonplace or shelfers or what have you.
Love to hear your list.
A decent amount of these, I will say, are going to be somewhat allocated, but there are some on here that I'm looking forward to that should be hopefully available to everybody.
Good. Good.
Great start to the new year. Happy New Year to everybody. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow, so don't worry about whatever's going on here. I scheduled it out 8 weeks on accident instead of 5. So we're gonna do it, and it's not gonna be a buzz cut, but we're gonna do a good job. And I'm wearing the right shirt.
Yeah, and if you notice, my hair's growing out, and it has a nice little gentle.
The swoosh.
Yeah, already.
The Kurt swoosh.
Go figure. All right, buddy. I'm gonna start first if you don't mind, because I'm kind of looking forward. We didn't share anything that's on our lists, so I apologize if
we're gonna have some overlap for sure.
I doubt it. I doubt it, but you never know. But for me, when it comes to allocated or limiteds, I'm always looking forward to the Elijah Craig barrel proofs and the Larceny barrel proofs. Primarily because they're always fairly priced.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think the Larcenys, if you get them around the MSRP mark, they're around $60. Elijah Craig barrel proofs, they're around $70. The Larcenys, for me, haven't quite hit as good as the Elijah Craigs. For me. That's just me. But I still think they're excellent quality for the price. You can get that for about $60 for Larceny, roughly.
Did you get the C923?
I think so.
We should
go back. You brought it down.
Did I? Shoot, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I think
we should go back to those because they did make, I think all three of them made Fred Minnick's Top 100, but I don't remember loving them a whole lot.
Yeah.
They're good for the money.
Yes.
I just don't think they're like really incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good. I'll buy them every time I see them.
But for me, for $60, I'm excited to get them and see what they're all about.
Yeah.
Now, also, to follow suit with that, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is $70. It's around $70. And they're always usually pretty darn good. And as you saw with the C923, sometimes they can be spectacular. So I'm looking forward to both of those.
Is this the first year where all the releases are like different ages, or so they're not all 12-year?
Yeah, the first full year.
Okay, so that'll be interesting to kind of see what's kind of in store for those. Yeah. I did have the Elijah Craigs. I had the Larcenys. I also had the Bernheim barrel proofs?
Good point.
I only saw the one.
Yeah.
That was it. We got the
We got the
A223.
We got the very first one, I thought, right?
And I hadn't seen them after that.
I haven't either.
And I thought it was actually a very good product.
I did too. That's another one that's
$65,
fairly efficiently
$65.
priced. Yes.
So
yes.
I'm interested to see. I saw that there were some set to come out. I don't know if the distribution is all weird because we didn't see the next 2 batches. I don't even know if they did 2 batches. It might have just been 3. Wait, no, it might have. I don't know what I'm saying. We only saw the A. We only saw one. The A.
That's it.
223.
Yep, that's it.
What else do you have?
For me, this is a big one. This is probably the biggest one that I have in my mind. Is the Old Forester 1924, the 10-year Old Forester. I did a little research on this, right?
Okay.
It's supposed to be 100 proof.
Ooh.
It's supposed to be 10-year. But as of right now, all I've seen for pricing was question marks.
Okay.
I have not, if the good folks, if you all have seen anything on a relative price point for the 1924, I'd like to know. I didn't find it myself.
They are going to actually. Okay, I'm gonna text Harry live on a video because I think he might know.
Well, I hope he does because I just don't know. I'm hoping and praying that they're not ridiculously priced.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for, because I'm really looking forward to that. That's a 10-year offering, 10-year age stated, around 100 proof, and as for me, as you all know, that's a wonderful proof point for me personally. And so that's probably the one I could say that's on the top of my list that I'm looking forward to trying to see if we can get and try.
I had that on my list as well.
Yeah, I kind of figured you
Yeah.
did. That's a big one. That is a big one. And I'm pretty excited about that. And I also saw that some of them are supposed to be dropping here like real soon.
Soon. He just said about $100.
About $100.
So $10, $100. We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
And
Could
I
be
wished
a
it
lot
was a
worse.
little bit better than that, but
Yeah.
then on the other hand, I'm glad it's not ridiculously priced either.
I think of like the Prohibition, the 1920. It's like $65 now,
Yeah.
and that's a standard offering.
Yeah, I was really hoping that $80 to $90 range, but even if it's at 100, at least it's not 150, 200, 250
Yeah.
or some crazy things that a lot of people are trying to get these days.
Yeah. So I had that too. What else you got on there?
You know, buddy, I got to put my glasses on. The only thing I wrote down other than that, Trenton, is I purposefully will be hunting the shelves, and I'll take this as my mission to try to find, as we spoke about in the last video, new whiskey, bourbons. I don't care if it's Scotch. I don't care. American single malts.
Oh, please, American single.
You know,
malts.
whatever I can find that's in a I feel is a very good cost number. That's a new product.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be looking for. And so I'm encompassing everything right here. I'm not pinpointing, but I truly hope that I can find, like we spoke about last video, the Bardstown Origin Series. You know, we can find some new things that distilleries are going to be putting out in that roughly $50 range, and hopefully maybe even something like the Green River that's even like in that $35, $38 range.
That'd be great.
You know, that'd be great. I'm gonna be really looking hard for things like that.
Well, speaking of Bardstown, there was one, I didn't actually write this down, but I kind of saw. We went to Bardstown, I don't know if you remember, but they had a Copper and Kings. It was like a square, it was a white label, and it had like an @ sign on it. It was a Copper and Kings Bardstown Mistel finish. I don't know if you remember that. One of the best products I've ever tried. I've been trying to find one, and I just can't. They're coming out with a double Mistel, from what I've heard, this year. But I'm worried it's going to be similar to their Chateau de Libaude, where the first one was an absolute hitter, and the second one was just like, they're just kind of playing off that initial success, and the second one's just like...
Did you taste it? So you tasted the first one?
The Mistel? We all did when we went.
I did.
You did, yeah.
Well, there you go.
It blew me away.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and I was bummed that they weren't making them anymore.
Huh.
So that's all you got, huh?
That's it.
All right.
I'm clean out of ideas, so there you go.
You ready for this one?
Sure.
Russell's 15 is coming out.
You know, and I did hear about that.
I'm worried about the price.
I'm scared about that one, dude. And I'm going to tell you, you know, like I told you about the Generations bottle, if it's at $400 or $500 mark, then I pass. I just, that's me. That's me.
If I'm gonna, I hope they do not sell a 15-year for $500.
Oh, no.
And keep in mind, these are all, I don't have pricing information for any of these, so we say we're hunting them now, but if it comes to the point where the 15 is like $400, we're not hunting it anymore.
No.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I had the Russell's 15. I had the Old Forester 1924. The Maker's Mark Wood Finish Series, the Heart Series. That's coming out this year.
I haven't heard of that.
I don't know anything about it. And I saw this. Keep in mind, we've gathered these from either like Coming Whiskey's Instagram or the Breaking Bourbon release calendar, which gets updated all the time. I'm excited for that. I'm still confused about the wood finishing series, but
Right.
maybe I missed the.
It was supposed to be the last one of the BEP.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about it again.
And maybe I missed something. It's probably likely. Redwood Empire Devil's Tower High Rye Bourbon.
Now that's perked my interest because anytime Redwood Empire has put out cast strengths, the Bottle and Bond series, things like that, they've all been pretty good.
Yeah,
They've all been pretty good.
I'm excited to see they're doing a high rye bourbon. I'm definitely going to be looking for that. I doubt we'll see it in Indiana. I might have to have some folks keep their eyes out for it. But Peerless Toasted Bourbon. I was a huge fan of the ASW Toasted, both the rye and the bourbon.
Yeah.
I think both of them made it in our top
did.
of last year, which feels weird to say.
Yeah.
And I love a good toasted bourbon. I know you're not like super thrilled when you hear toasted bourbon, but
Yeah, it scares me a little bit. It's kind of creeping into that Ambirana territory for me because once you've had one, it's like seems a lot the same.
Toasteds for you? Okay.
For me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
But then again, there are some or a few that rise above.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I've been a huge fan of Peerless's stuff. They have an absinthe finish, which I tasted and I was like, ooh, that's going to be weird. It's actually pretty decent.
Really?
You got to like absinthe and black liquor and these type flavors, but it's an interesting bottle.
I do.
This had unconfirmed next to it. Russell's Reserve Honey Infused Straight Bourbon. So anytime I see Russell's, I'm hunting it for you. I don't really care much about
I
Wild
haven't seen
Turkey
it.
or
So it's
Russell's.
actually honey infused.
But it said straight bourbon, so I don't know how they do that, and they can call it. Well, I know how they can call it straight, but I don't know how they call it a bourbon if it's infused.
Right. If it's infused, then it's got an additive.
Maybe that's the unconfirmed part. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing a Russell's Honey Barrel. I have no idea.
No, that would be really interesting.
And then I have the EC Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs, the Bernheims.
Sure.
Couple ryes, and this is, I think there's only two.
Oh,
Master's Keep Triumph.
really?
It's the rye this year.
Okay. I'm good with that.
so-
Not finished anything?
I don't think so. The Cornerstone I liked. I thought it was pretty
I
good.
did too. It's still up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. No, I'll be happy to look at
Where?
that. Oh, it's in there.
Is it on the corner?
No, it's in there. Don't.
One. Decades.
It's right there in front of you. Right in the middle.
I try it. Can I get a glimpse? I don't think I've
can.
ever had this.
Get out of here.
I don't try most of your stuff back there, dude.
Good grief. Why not?
And then one thing that I was actually excited about, especially for a rye, and this kind of might fall in your category of things to look forward to. Elijah Craig is coming out with a toasted barrel rye.
I did see that.
But I know that when like the toasted bourbon came out, I was seeing it at source for like $90. You couldn't find it hardly ever, at least in our area in Indiana.
Right.
So I'm hoping this isn't something where it's also $90 to $100 and it's just their core offering of a toasted or a rye, and then they just toasted the barrel and
For a few months.
yeah. So I'm always excited for a good rye. Elijah Craig's regular rye I thought was I wasn't a huge fan.
It was okay. I personally didn't really like the toasted bourbon that much.
The toasted bourbon I do not like at all.
No, at all. Yeah, I can take it or leave it. Let's put it that way. Especially for that price point, it was like it was okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's delicious.
That's
I'd steal that. So that's at least what I'm looking for. This is going to change.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we'll do a separate video on it. I don't know that I'll be looking for bookers this year. They're getting a little bit pricey, and they're getting a little bit either repetitive or just nothing special. It's just 4 a year at $100 each, that's a lot, and I'm not blown away by them. Like I haven't finished a Booker's yet.
Yeah, no, and me
because they're that good. I mean, well, actually, no, I finished a Donahoe batch and I finished a Bardstown batch.
Donahoe is good. The Donahoe batch was good. Bardstown batch was pretty good. So there's some that's good. I guess my thought process on that, Trenton, is we don't have to be ones to guinea pig it. You know what I mean? And the first ones to try it, and maybe I'll do some research and see who else has tried it, and people that I trust, and if somebody says it's great or really good, then maybe I might get it. But past that.
Well, and it's like we usually aren't the first to try much of anything ever, because you got like Jason C. and I think he's in Kentucky or Ohio.
No, he's Ohio.
And he gets a lot of stuff before
he gets stuff
anybody.
early. Yeah, he does.
And that's awesome.
Great,
we
for him.
Indiana's lagging a little bit behind.
We're definitely last on a lot of things, especially the Bookers, things like that. I mean, a lot of people were, a lot of folks will be reviewing the Bookers, and we'll get it a month later. Yeah, it's just the way it is.
And the ones that I'm not, even not so good batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof are still good. Even like Larcenies,
without question.
The price is good, and they always come with a nice proof point, and I think it's always worth it to pick them up regardless.
Yeah, I do too.
Bookers, I hope they change their ways and kind of slow it down to 3 releases a year and make it better.
Yeah,
I don't know, but we'll see. I was hoping to see like a Russell's 13 Rye on the list. Didn't see that.
That would be
an Old Crow release. Didn't see that. So maybe one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Come back with the chess pieces from the 60s.
Yeah, because I don't know if you've ever had it, but one of these days I'm going to sneak it into a blind. And I know I could say it now because he's not going to remember 2 weeks from now about this, but Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye is pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't even know if you've ever had it.
That is one rye I've never had.
I didn't think so. He, for whatever reason, usually you just kind of, I don't think you dislike Wild Turkey per se, but it's not something you gravitate to go, oh, I got to try that.
So the rye's like, I think $70. The Rare Breed rye's like 70 or 75 bucks.
I think so.
And I just don't like Wild Turkey enough to want to go out on a limb to buy the Rare Breed rye. Now, it's weird because I've purchased ryes from other companies that are the same or more expensive that I've never tried. But it's like, I know I'm not a huge Wild Turkey fan.
We'll see. We'll put it in there somewhere. It'll happen this year at some point in time. Rare Breed will be in a blind, the rye.
Where did I put the Wild Turkey 101 rye? You put that in a blind somewhere. We blinded that somehow. And I said it tasted like pine trees, I think. Mom, do you remember where I was like, I don't remember where that landed in my lineup, but
I don't remember either. Yeah, but it'll get there. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, that's our list. If there's some stuff that you've heard rumored about or confirmed, let us know in the comments what you might be looking for. I'd be interested to kind of hear about that. Yeah. I'm sure we've passed on or missed a couple labels or drops or rumors or whatever that have been posted all over the place. So let us know in the comments what you think. Yep. And you got to work on that list.
I know. I'm just not that person, though. I live in the moment, Trenton. I live every second in the moment.
I can verify that.
Yeah. So looking ahead, yeah. Drives you nuts, babe? Come on. All right, folks.
On the couch.
No.
Good luck.
No. That'd be fine. All right, buddy. Everybody have a great day. We appreciate you. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. See you next time. Right down here with Trenton and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.